Alright, let's get right into it. You know, when we think about mental health struggles, our minds tend to jump straight to these big crisis moments. But the truth? It almost never starts that way. It usually begins much more quietly, with these little shifts that are super easy to miss. So today, we're going to talk about how to recognize those very first signs, both for ourselves and for the people we care about. You know that feeling, right? It's not really sadness. It's not exactly anger. It's just this weird sense of being out of sync with everything. Like nothing specific is wrong, but nothing feels quite right either. It's an incredibly common feeling, but one we just don't talk about nearly enough. And that's the thing, you often can't put a name to it. It's like this background hum of unease, or maybe just feeling a bit disconnected. And look, that feeling is totally valid. It's real. And a lot of the time, it's one of the earliest whispers from our mind and body that our well-being might need a little extra attention. So why is it so hard to spot these things in the first place? Well, it's mainly because what we've been taught to look for, it just doesn't match the reality of how these struggles actually begin. This right here really gets to the heart of it. On one side, you have what we expect to see, thanks to movies and TV, a sudden crisis, a dramatic outburst. But then you look at how it often starts, and it's so much quieter. It's a slow fade of your usual energy. It's a quiet withdrawal from friends instead of some big blow-up. It's just feeling kind of disconnected. This mismatch is a huge reason these early signs fly right under the radar. And we've all done this, right? We brush off that lingering anxiety as, it's just a bad day. Or we're so busy juggling everything that we don't connect the dots and see a pattern forming over weeks or months. And honestly, in our culture, feeling stressed and exhausted all the time has become so normal that we forget that's not how we're supposed to feel. We think that unless it's a huge capital P problem, it doesn't really count. But what if there was a better way to look, a simple framework? And let me be clear, this is not for diagnosing anyone. It's just for noticing. Think of it like a lens you can use to bring these subtle shifts into focus with a little more clarity. So the whole point here is that we're not going on a hunt for problems. We're just gently observing. And if we break it down into 4 key areas, the whole thing becomes way less overwhelming. It's really just about paying attention. First up, we have emotional shifts. Now, this isn't about just having a bad mood one afternoon. This is more like your emotional thermostat has been reset. Maybe you notice you're way more irritable than usual, or there's this low-level hum of anxiety that just won't go away. It could even be a feeling of numbness where you don't really feel much of anything. It's just a shift from your normal baseline. Next, let's talk about behavioral changes. This is all about what you do. Are you finding yourself canceling plans that you used to get excited about? Have you maybe lost interest in a hobby that used to be your go-to for relaxing? Or, hey, maybe your sleep is all over the place. You're sleeping way more or way less than you normally do. These are real, tangible changes to your daily rhythm. Then you've got physical sensations. And this is a big one because our minds and bodies are so deeply connected. Sometimes emotional strain actually shows up physically first. We're talking about that bone-deep fatigue that no amount of sleep can fix. Or maybe a sudden uptick in tension headaches, or stomach issues that pop up out of nowhere. It's your body trying to send you a signal. And finally, there's cognitive fog. You know this feeling? It's like you're trying to move through mental molasses. You might find it impossible to focus on a task at work. Making even simple decisions like what to have for dinner feels totally overwhelming. Or maybe you just feel way more forgetful than usual. This isn't about being lazy or anything like that. It's a sign that your brain is just carrying a really heavy load. So, okay, we've got this framework. But why does this actually matter so much? Because noticing these signs early isn't about being afraid, it's about empowerment. It gives you a sense of control over your own well-being. I absolutely love this analogy because it's perfect. When the check engine light comes on in your car, you don't panic and assume the car is about to explode, right? No, it's just a calm, useful little signal telling you, hey, maybe it's time to look under the hood. These early signs are the exact same thing for us. They're just a gentle nudge to pause and check in. And that act of noticing, is the very first step on a really positive path forward. It all starts with just gently acknowledging a change without any judgment. From there, maybe you start a conversation with a friend, a family member, a professional, and that just opens the door to exploring what support might look like and ultimately to actively strengthening your well-being. So let me just say this one more time to be crystal clear. This is not about diagnosing yourself or anyone else. It's about connection. It's about creating a space where it's okay to say, "Hey, I've noticed you seem a little off lately and I'm here." Or to be able to say to yourself, "You know what? I'm not feeling like myself and I deserve to get some support." So as we start to wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final idea that kind of reframes this whole thing. Taking it from just awareness to actual compassion. At the end of the day, the goal here is not to become some kind of mental health detective, always hunting for problems. The real goal is to become a better listener, to tune into your own needs with a little more kindness, and to extend that same gentle attention to the people in your life. Seriously, just think about that for a second. What could change for you, for your friends, for all of us, if we just got a little better at hearing those quiet whispers, if we learned how to respond with care and support right from the very beginning? Just imagine how much struggle could be eased and how much more well-being we could build